this team of giants makes me really feel so happy and really flying, but in the same time make me feel so responsible and in charge, and I have to do something really different. So happiness in life is honestly not only a state of mind, and it's not only a way of living and a way of thinking, and it's an attitude, definitely, but also it is our defense mechanism. And the more life might get challenging as the time we are going through, the more happiness we need, because life is there to be lived, and time will pass. Whether we like it or not, it will pass. So why not passing this time and spending this time? I don't like really the word pass. Spending, investing, living this life, being in this life, being in this time mindfully, and not only mindfully with a compass, with a real compass to happiness. Because by the end of the day, we are so lucky even to go through the challenging times. I myself, coming from the media background as my first job and my real background, we used to know that's the number one statement I heard when I entered the media college, that this is the career of difficulties. We in Arabic we call it actually the career of the mother of difficulties, and that might look really not so much glamorous, but to me it is so glamorous, because I can tell you guys, through those difficulties, and I really mean it, and the difficulties here, to me, it is a very shining and very positive, powerful word, that it is the thing which pushes you to do something different. And when that thing is pushing you to do something different every single day, how lucky you are. I am really honored that my first job, and I think I will be back to my first job one day, I don't know when, is a correspondent, field correspondent and reporter. And with that, there is no day similar to the previous day or to the second day. Every day is a word by itself. From morning to night, it has its own chapter of life. I've been really honored that in my generation, that career was not so much liked. And to women, it is almost complete, fine, more or less abandoned. I'm very honored that I was the first woman on my country to do long investigative reportings, televised, not journalistic, not writing, not for press, not for radio, for TV. And that really an ample amount of work has to be put every single day. Not only an ample amount of the ample amount of flexibility and agility has to be in the salad of that day. And without that, you cannot carry with this career. Because one day you might be in Prime Ministry office, the next day you might be in one of the streets covering an accident. The third day you might be in the last remote area of the south or in the north. And maybe the fourth day you are in the border with the military of your country. So every single day is a word, really word by its own, with the amount of mechanisms you have to bring to your life, with the knowledge, with with previous readings. And at that time there was no Googling, no internet, nothing. So books and only books, and where to find books about each and every topic, and how fast and how far you can run to have those books, and to anticipate what coverage you need to do through this month to be ready for all those coverages. It's almost an impossible mission. But how to get prepared for those challenges? Actually, after 4 and something decades of my life, five decades and a little bit also, I would say, I have a very simple recipe for getting ready for life and for all the challenges which are really laying under your pillow. The only way, I call it 24 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 365 days. It means living life from the perspective of readiness. get ready, get prepared for something new every single minute. And I really mean it. It's not literature review here. I really mean it, because taking a job of a correspondent, senior correspondent, specialized correspondent, sorry, at the age of 19 was not a joke. And being in a king with a king in one day, and maybe with the biggers in the second day, and being with all types of people, with all kind of challenges you can ever think about, and being also in a country which has 4 seasons, and our winter is real winter and our summer is real summer. That means that your body has to have certain flexibility to endure 10% below zero and 45, 46 temperature in summer. So how can you get yourself to all these preparedness and readiness? And to be honest, there was not a lot of training, physical and hands-on training in our time. I was very lucky that Jordan TV was so much linked to BBC, and the people who trained us at the very first stand were from the BBC staff and HCV staff. So because we are so much English and British educated country, and so we have our alliance with Britain. So I was really lucky that that was my first approach to my career. It became my life. And I think once I spoke at this forum and I said, I learned something very excellent from this career, that don't postpone, live the moment as is. So I discovered really the rule of mindfulness at a very early age because of my own mistakes. At the beginning, when I was going to the mountain in the southern part of Jordan, for example, to cover a flood or be with the queen or whatever, I would say, oh, tomorrow, sometime I will come with my family and watch this place and I'll contemplate it and I will enjoy it. And now let me focus only on my script and finishing my sign off and finishing my voice recording, because the news has to be broadcasted at 8 sharp, and everything else has to be put in that bulletin an hour before, and everything has to be spread to the announcers in the studio much more time before that. That means if we are 4 to 6 hours away from the station, we have to count that time, and we have to count the editing time, the recording time, all these things. So whatever you have, the bulletin will be at 8, and your report should be loaded at the gallery maximum at 7 p.m. So that is so much agility, so much training, so much preparedness and readiness. But I learned through my journeys many other things, and really combining knowledge with life knowledge, with mindfulness, with positivity, I would say it is the secret recipe for making this life a successful journey. Later in my life, at a more senior age and more senior positions, I was working under bombs. And I don't know how on earth I was able, although I came from a very civil, very peaceful country, and my whole family never been any of them in the army or in the police. They are all very civil people and very liberal people. How on earth I endured working with candidates of elections under the most severe security restrictions and the most severe security in dangerous situations. But honestly speaking, once in one of the countries in my region, and I was training the first batch of females candidates ever took place in their country. The whole election was the first time to take place since 60 or 70 years. And we were under bombs because the country was still under war. And everybody in the room got crazy, and people started to jump on each other to run out. I don't know how on earth God just gave me that calmness and peacefulness, and from where on earth I got that happiness inside me, in which I radiate to my amazing candidates and trainees in the room. And I was able to hold them and made them stay by a couple of statements from my heart, which God really had kind of really sparked on my mind to say them. and to assure them that we will be safe, as we say in Arabic, by the eye of God, and we will be safe if we finish our mission here. Because what I finally said, that once we go out of this room, if we have the destiny to live, we will be knowledgeable, and if we don't, then we will die with honor. And that was my statement, which made 115 women, which went really crazy, each one of them, to run to see her home under the bombs, to stay calmly and positively. And we finished the training for 6 days, 6 consecutive days. And it was really a mission impossible for the whole UN, watching the UNICEF in that country doing that mission and finishing it, while everyone else just pull out, even in dangerous regions of the same country. But that is because of one really thing: having that spark in the mind of the connectivity of God, that we will be safe, and here is the safest place on earth, because God is watching us and we're doing something good for humanity. Believe me, this is not a rhetoric literature, not trying to make it right or nice. This is what happened exactly. And in so many situations, I can go on really for a year telling you troubles of that really level, in different observing elections here and there, and watching the gender balance elections, and doing so many things, reporting in streets in so many places on earth about different things. And sometimes, believe me, politics is not the most hard thing. In my opinion, social issues are the most complicated things to address them. And they have so many complications within their texture. So with this, I would say that in order really to be ready, uh, that positive attitude should be not only an attitude and not only a way of living. It should be really the oxygen which we breathe every single day. But why? Because we really want to make our life easier. So I need to ask myself, am I strong? And the other question, which is really extracted from the Sufi philosophy, and the it is also a statement of Buddha: am I fun enough to be around? The first time I understood this statement, I thought it's very light. But with time, wisdom, and age, I will tell you, this is one of the hardest concepts, the hardest attitudes we can have all through our life: to be fun. And then realizing from my religion and from the literature of that religion, understanding that bringing happiness is not something only good, it is also a worship. And I'm sure in each and every faith, it is also a worship. Because by the end of the day, our ultimate goal for this life is to be happy. So if we are really going towards that ultimate goal, not only on our own, with society around us, the more happiness we bring to life, the more worshiping we are doing, and the nearer we are getting to God. This is my simple definition, really, to my life equation. And I would really ask each one of you, please, after the session, ask yourself, am I strong enough? And please answer yourself very frankly. Even if the answer is not positive to you, I want you to re-ask yourself, how can I be strong? And then write down, and what make me really strong and stronger, and write down at least 10 characteristics of your own which are really strong in you and can make you stronger. And then the other question, which I really please asking you kindly to do, am I fun enough? And I'm sure most of the people in this place are all great fun to be around, because they are strong people. They are awake before 5, they are ready at 5, so they are fun to be around. Because the most important characteristic of the people who are fun to be around, that they are different, and they really take difficult missions in life in a very positive way, as we are doing here in the 5 a.m. So we really learn a lot from what we call difficult times, although I disagree with the word difficult. It is, I would love to call it the productive and motivational times. And if those productive and motivational times are a lot, then how lucky we are. We need to change ourselves, the attitude we hold, people's attitude around us by changing the way we are really perceiving people and dealing with it. Not only perceivance is important, but the way we deal. And I can go on and tell you really so much stories that in the most dangerous places, how can you really be fun? But I will just tell you at glance, and I leave it to you to laugh at it and think about it. Making salad every day in Afghanistan, speaking poetry in Libya, using the stories of the prophets in the most really dangerous places in my region, realizing that I have come, you've come, every one of us had come a long way, and that long way was so interesting and so important. Visiting traditional shops, even in the most tough and difficult times, those places had always charging my battery and making me feel that there is a big hope in this life, and remembering the roots and the origins of the nation and the people of this earth. Of course, staying positive. And one of the things which really brings so much happiness is watching happy people, maybe in the streets, in the parks, in the shops, in the restaurants, wherever. Just watching happy people. And one of the most happy segments on earth are children. So that might bring really lots of glamorous to the journey of motivation and productivity. And one last thing I would really say about taking a different loop towards the motivational and those constructive times. Smiling is a new passport to the world. And working, what I really learned out of my journey, that I need to smile because it is my passport to this world, and it makes every difficulty comes easier. Working in all types of weathers will teach us that the body can really go so much stronger than what we think. Working with all types of people had proven to me, and I'm sure to everyone else, that we are people, we belong to people, and we have each and every cell of everybody in this universe embedded in us. Working in different countries would teach you, me, everyone else, that the world is a small village. Moreover, having a family time, which is really tough, and going out of it, that will give anybody really the ultimate feeling of nobility, strength, and even the feeling of hero and heroine. And lastly, but not least, working is the most important thing on ourselves, and thinking all the time that I am also crafting myself towards being the happiness, which is the ultimate goal of my being, the ultimate goal of the being of life. With this, I would really conclude. Thank you so much for giving me this chance. And over to you, our amazing moderator, Japeen, Santush, and Faisal. Thank you so much. And I am really thankful for each one of you. You are amazing souls who are here to support me and to listen to me. And I hope that I was a little bit interesting to you today. Thank you so much.
Oh my God. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Not little bit, you are completely interesting, and your talk was so enthralling, and you filled us with positivity, and you motivated us even at this time, in this pandemic. And thank you so much. And yes, as you said, we will make the mission impossible into a possible one, of course. And also, thank you for sharing the secret recipe, that is 24 into 7 into 365 days. Living life from the perspective of readiness. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. And I would like to invite Kartika for both of thanks. Kartika, are you there?
Just if there is any question, I'm ready to
Yeah,
answer.
I think
Yes, yes.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. See, this talk is all about igniting minds, and having this powerful conversation will move a lot of people. So, friends, it's an opportunity for you. If you have any questions, and just come forward and share. Or if you have any sharing, like how do we ignite minds? How do we inspire minds to take actions? So anyone, like let me call few people. I think rather than waiting for the answers. So what would you like to add? Like maybe I'll start with Kunen sir. So share a few words. How do we ignite minds? What do you do when you are down? How do you help people to? How do you motivate when you see somebody is not really well? So share a few words, then let me call somebody else. Yeah, maybe Tamim. Tamim, are you good to talk for a few? Maybe Ajit sir. Okay. So first, go ahead, Kunen sir.
Thank you, Faisal, and very good morning and assalamu alaikum, one and all. It was a quite impressive, powerful words what you shared, Reem ma'am. You inspired me, and this is one of the way, Faisal, to our stories by sharing the journey what we have traveled, by sharing the difficulties, the challenges what we have faced, by sharing the challenges which we have overcame. And because we all as a human being, we resonate with ourselves, with each other. So our human mind, we think that if the other human being, the other person can do, I can also do. So that is the best way to encourage, to motivate, and let someone else to take the action to make a difference in the life. So this is what my 2 cents for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kunen sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, Ajit sir. So what do you say to? I mean, would you like to share anything to Reem ma'am, or how do you
Yes.
ignite minds?
Yes. Namaskar. Happy morning to all of you. And ma'am, lovely sharing and very in depth. And thank you. To answer your question, Faisal, that when you are down and when you're thinking that okay, nothing is working for you and all, the easiest and the best thing to do on this planet to make others happy is take charge of your own life, because you cannot control others. You cannot change the world. The only world that you can change is there within in your own self. And you change yourself, you take control, you start being happy. You start looking at challenges like Reem ma'am, working with terrorists and working in warfare areas and all, and being a woman. Like she took charge of her own self. And that is what changed her attitude, her outlook towards herself, within. And the change within brought the
Yeah,
change
Pongal.
outside. So always happiness is inside out. So change yourself, you be happy, you take control, because challenges, difficulties are not going to be there forever. It's going to be there for maybe some time, a day or week or month. And then that it is just not possible that it will continue for life. You will change. Allow the universe to give you that power to change yourself, and that will change everything. One last thing, Reem ma'am, one of the statements that you made, uh, one sec, I just noted it down, is bringing happiness is worship. Can there be anything more powerful than that? Wow, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Reem ma'am. Made my day. Great, thank you. Thank you, Faisal.
All right. Anyone else would like to share a few words? Let me know. Thank you, Ajit sir. Hiba, how was the day for you? And anything to share? Or how do you ignite your mind when you are going through low time? So this is a section where you share your experience, and maybe you can ask to Reem also. Then we probably will ask Soma sir. Then we will hand over to Karthikeyan to close the session. Yeah, Hiba.
Reem, ma'am, very brave of you being a woman. I know at age 19 what all you must have gone through to actually come out and become a correspondent, and then from there building your journey and sharing it with us. Very brave. I wish I can also, talk like you one day. And one thing I really take away from your speech is that difficulties are good. Difficulties push you to be better. So as I think about those things, I feel like difficulties, like Ajit sir said, difficulties don't last for a very long time. Actually, they only last until you want them to last. If you, like he said, take charge and be strong, there are no more difficulties. You become a positive person, you become a stronger person. So thank you very much for this powerful message today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are really honoring me, guys, with your words. I hope I am up to the standard of what you think. But as I just said, Hiba, it is uh, it is the practice. It is the practice. And I would share another also secret that I learned a lot from the Indian teachers. By all means of that. And one of the things really I learned from a very powerful Indian teacher is philosophy is easy, practicality is the question. Is I don't want to say difficulty because I made the promise to myself that I always try to craft positive words instead. So philosophy is easy, practicality is the constructive one, is the reality. So, and what I really love about the 5 a.m. thing, that it is a practicality practice on action. So instead of saying so much big words, just come awake, please. 10 to 5, 15 to 5, and come at 5 o'clock. And just do it for a week, and let's see. So here, the practicality on action. And just answering Hiba, that career of corresponding and reporting, which is one of the most neglected jobs, taught me that no matter what, no matter how, the report has to be broadcasted. And in a week, after 1 week of being hired, then your journey, either you fail or you carry on, because there is a screen to judge you. So you cannot produce any report while you are surrounded with giants who are well known, and they are figures, and they are all senior and stars. So from day one, the report has to be equal to the most senior person who appears on television. That is the real fire, and that is the practicality. And what I learned, that really don't waste. I am a person who made so many sins on overthinking. My real advice to the people who are here, and especially our sons and daughters and young brothers and sisters, please don't overthink. Just do. And yeah, one of the things we teach in decision-making techniques, and that's a question which was asked to Rockefeller, not Rockefeller, sorry, Mr. Ford, that do you take decisions? And then he said, yes, of course I take decisions. Do you take time in taking decisions? Yes, yeah, one of my mistakes that I take so much long time to decide. How long this? He said, 10 minutes. 10 minutes? And he said, yes. To somebody who's holding my position, managing the people I manage, having the responsibility I have, holding the profits that would be held in those 10 minutes, it's a lot. So he advised in his book, take a decision, makes all the sensible, of course, there is so much science behind the decision. Maybe one time we speak about decisions, and make all the sensible knowledge in use of you. And now, thanks God, we have all that knowledge under our one finger. And then make the decision and just go. If it is wrong, you mind it, you change it, you modify it. But if you don't, all the time had been wasted. If I want to go back to my journey and change something, I would change the hesitation time and jump again into more fires. I have jumped myself into so many fires. And with those fires, honestly, I learned the most beautiful things on life. And after the bombs, I'll go and make salad to my colleagues. Honestly speaking, the whole people in that hostel, in which we have to go through maybe 14 security checks to be inside a very simple, humble room. You cannot imagine how much humble. And then cutting salad and singing in Arabic or doing something funny, because this is the only way not to have ignite mind, as Faisal suggested, but ignacy also have another side that it might takes you really to craze. So how much ignity you need to go, that's also an important equation. Thank you.
Oh, so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you,
I
Faisal.
really like what Hiba said, you know, difficult times is for good. If you're having good difficult time means there is an opportunity knocking at your door. Most of the time people go through challenges, they give up. They say, oh, it's very hard. It's very hard to handle. And we look at others and we compare, oh, this is should have not happened to me. But let me tell you, friends, difficult times makes you so powerful. Difficult time is actually for good.
Motivational.
Absolutely. So this is
One
just a
last thing I
challenging.
would share really, Faisal, if you allow me, because you
Please.
said difficult, difficult, difficult a lot. As a woman, I cannot imagine anything more difficult than the labor second, than giving birth.
Challenging.
Yeah, it is the most ample pain on earth, as registered by doctors, not by myself.
Yeah.
But we call it in Arabic the forgotten moment. Why? Because the amount of joy, the second of motherhood, can never be compared to anything else on earth. So that's why we parents, we go through all that much in order to have a baby. I don't think there is a pleasure equals that. And there is a, if you want to call it a difficulty, also equals that. Having the highest pain in hand and having the highest pleasure in the other hand. Isn't it fair? God is so fair.
Beautiful. Cool. So yeah, so let me take a question from few more people. One is, I think Nasser would like to share a few words. Then Lena, then probably my sister, Jessie's here. So few names. So go ahead, Nasser, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So, Reem, this is so wonderful. Like every time you take us to the next level. Just like when in Kerala you are talking, there is something called Thrissur Puram. There's a cracker goes up, and up to the level of 7. Kind of. So I will be the light for it shows me the way. Yet I will endure the darkness for it shows me the stars. You are one such person. You yourself is a star. Take us all into the star. I just have got no words to express the gratitude and thanks. But all of us live in the life positive, specifically in 5 a.m. We get the opportunity to practice all the steps which you have been telling. And one of the finest quality which you have demonstrated, illustrated before all of us today is that you started with courage. Courage is the first virtue that make all other virtues possible. And that you have shown, and that is that you acquired at the young age of 19. And that is what has been spilling over all of us, and the courage will stand to run the character. The character, only I will expand, I'm not going to detail talking. Character, the C is commitment, H is honesty, A is accountability, R is respect, A is attitude, C is courage, T is trust, E is ethics and integrity, R is responsibility. Character, CHARACTER. And that is what you are bringing us. That is what is happening within 5 a.m. Club and Masterminders. Build character, declare and deliver, and show the safe ways, respect each human being. And finally, you told, smile. And that brings, it's contagious, it is helpful, healthy. Thank you very much.
Wow.